Hi, Rambling Idler here. In the following video, you won't be able to help but notice that I'm reading off a computer screen. The open letter I wrote to the algorithm is so important, so vital, that I didn't want to risk stumbling for words or taking off on tangents and rambling. So I took the safe route and read it. I know this can be distracting and even annoying, but if my shifty-eyed behavior bothers you too much, you could try just listening and looking at something else, like a diagram of a printed circuit or something. Anyway, just a word of warning. Enjoy the video. Now I'm going to do what no one in the history of mankind has dared to do before, and probably will never dare to do again. I'm going to address the YouTube algorithm directly. I'm conscious of the fact that this could put my channel at risk, but it's high time somebody did it. Yes, this is an open letter to that mysterious and awe-inspiring program or thing or being known as the YouTube algorithm. Or not so much a letter, since I don't intend to send it in the mail. I haven't even got an envelope or a stamp. And not even as an email, because what would I enter as the address? algorithm@youtube.com? Does YouTube even have an email address? Does the algorithm? So this is less an open letter than an open appeal. I've exercised restraint in the choice of my words, and though sometimes I've had the urge to let loose and give the algorithm a piece of my mind, I've held back. Besides, I need all the pieces I have left. And don't worry. I remembered that you're impatient and want things to move along at a snappy pace, and I've really pared this down. Of what were originally nearly 300 pages, scarcely 100 remain, which means that it shouldn't take me more than a couple of hours to read this, so just hang in there. Well, here goes nothing. Dear YouTube algorithm, it has come to my attention, firstly, that I've been spelling your name wrong, or at least thinking it wrong, as I seldom have occasion to write it, and that it has nothing to do with rhythm, as in, I got rhythm, which, incidentally, I don't got. And secondly, that strange as it may seem for an algorithm, to which everything is either a 1 or a 0 with nothing in between, that you are, at least to some extent, plagued by indecision. Of course, I only know about you what I've heard at second hand, because although those of us trying to make a go of it on YouTube hear about you a lot, no one seems to have ever seen you or to have spoken with you face to face. I imagine you look something like the Master Control program in the movie Tron, the original, just not quite so evil. I mean, not evil at all, of course. In reality, you're probably much better looking, too, but you'll understand that I don't have much to go on. At any rate, I gather from a large number of videos put out by YouTube experts or gurus on the subject that many of us who publish videos on YouTube are concerned that there aren't enough people watching them. It's only natural that when someone has put a lot of time and effort, or even a minimal amount, into making a video, they want people to watch it. And that goes double for people who have hopes of earning money on YouTube, be it from ad revenue or from products they're promoting or selling. But even a person who only makes videos for fun, and I understand that there are one or two, even such a person publishes them for an audience, and it's disappointing and frustrating when that audience is absent. The reason for this lack of viewers may simply be that the videos in question are boring or just plain rotten. But according to the aforementioned experts and gurus, it may also be that the videos are not being suggested or pushed to viewers by you, the YouTube algorithm. And why aren't you suggesting them? Because you can't decide what audience they're aimed at, what niche they aim to fill, or what they're about. But if you, esteemed algorithm, with all your routines and subroutines and gigabytes and terabytes of memory, and your server farms and computer centers with their unfathomable processing power, and all your lackeys pumping you full of data, if you don't know those things, how can we mere mortals, fools that we be, with nothing but lumps of meat in housings of bone as our CPUs and random access memory and storage, and guided mostly by instinct, whim, and fear, and only to a very small extent by reason or logic, how can we be expected to know? Look, I'm by no means the dumbest kid on my block, but even I have only a vague idea of what the videos I've published are about, or who exactly they're for, and an even vaguer one of what my niche is. And by the way, there seems to be some disagreement as to whether it's pronounced niche or niche. If we don't even know how to pronounce it, how can we ever hope to know what it is? So after this lengthy preamble, my suggestion to you, dear YouTube algorithm, with your superior intelligence, be it mechanical or electronic or artificial or whatever, is to take pity on us creatures of mere flesh and blood, and when in doubt, if you know such a thing as doubt, and if you even know such a thing as to know, when in doubt what the subject of a video is or who it's aimed at, or when you can't fit it neatly into one category or another, don't refrain from suggesting or pushing it just for lack of a well-defined group or audience, but instead suggest and push it to everyone. Or if, because of the sheer number of viewers on the platform, that isn't practical, suggest it and push it to as many as possible, to anyone, anybody at all, at random. Your guess who might want to watch it is not only as good as, but better than ours. But even if your calculations indicate that there's no chance somebody will watch it, remember that human beings, while by and large predictable, can at times be unpredictable. Recently there was a movie on TV with the subtitle, A Punk Love Story, which I would never have sought out in a million years. And my initial impulse was to change the channel, which in fact I did the first time they showed it. But when they showed it again, I let it run for a little while, mainly because nothing else was on that appealed to me. And soon I was caught up in the story, and I ended up being pleasantly surprised and watched the movie with enjoyment to the end. Then to top it all off, I rushed into the next room to my computer and bought it on Blu-ray. Yes, humans can be unpredictable. Respected algorithm, I imagine you're a nice enough fella or gal or entity. Do us a favor and give those of us, especially with small channels that aren't easily classified or categorized or pigeonholed, a chance. Instead of suggesting our videos to nobody, suggest them to everybody. I realize that you tend to suggest videos to people who you think will like them in order to maximize viewing time and the ad revenue YouTube receives based on it. But don't lose sight of the possibility that even videos that are not easily categorized may still, in time, pick up momentum in a snowball down the mountain kind of way, and prove to be a valuable source of revenue. Don't limit yourself to the short-term view, but consider the long-term in your reckoning. Videos such as mine, for example, though barely popping like firecrackers at their premiere, are destined to explode like a ton of dynamite and go viral, each one garnering millions of views and thousands or millions of dollars in ad revenue at some point. At the very latest, when some hotshot Hollywood producer discovers me sitting at the counter of a soda fountain. I hope you won't resent my sharing these ideas about completely changing the way you operate, and that you won't feel the need to get back at me by blacklisting my videos or otherwise stymieing my channel's progress. I appeal to you to consider these suggestions in the spirit they were offered, that of benefiting content creators and YouTube alike. And though human gratitude probably means nothing to you in the cold, cold world of silicon and semiconductors you inhabit, you will have our gratitude anyway. Thank you for your time. Signed, The Rambling Idler.